Hey buds, I'm your host Sam.
And I'm your co-host Ozzy.
And this is Kush Crime Take motherfucking 3.
Seriously.
Welcome back to another episode of Kush Crime. This is our third take.
Welcome.
Hopefully, crossing our fingers here that there are no audio issues.
Literally like the third time we're actually re-recording this whole thing, and I just keep giving away some good content.
Hopefully we can hear Ozzy.
Hopefully.
There's no popping and cracking.
Yeah, that was the issue that we were experiencing literally on take 2.
And it was the best one.
It was.
So
we had so much fun doing that one.
Yes, but we wanted to apologize because we know you've been waiting for this for a while. We didn't forget about you. We've just been experiencing some personal life stuff and audio issues.
Yeah, we apologize about everything. Everyone's been asking me from at work, or even like I would get a message on Facebook like, when's the next episode? When is the next episode gonna drop? So we apologize, guys, but you know, life.
But we want to thank you because we did notice that we have a lot more new listeners.
Yes.
From all over the world, and we're a little less than halfway to our goal.
Which is surprising because I didn't really think no one would listen to this.
Right. Well, thank you for listening. Yeah, we really just started it.
We are doing it for you.
I wanted to educate Ozzy on the spoopiness.
It is October.
It is spoopy season, and we're slacking. But don't you worry. I do have some cool cases that I have planned out. We're gonna fill you with spoopy season until it's Christmas.
Giggity.
I didn't mean that way, but get ready. I'm gonna let Ozzy get ready for strain of the day, which he's not. He just gave me the face that he was not ready. But yeah, we're halfway to our goal of 50 states. We have Texas now. We have some other states I didn't look before this. My bad. But seriously, thank you. And you guys telling your friends, we notice it. We love you. Oh, but in our first take, we did ask a very important question. Sandwich, Mass. We know we have listeners from Sandwich, Mass.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
your police cars say Sandwich Police? Please tell me.
Yeah, I never even knew that was actual a town in Massachusetts.
I literally looked at him and said, where the hell is Sandwich?
Sandwich Police Department.
And he was like, what? I was like, it's a place in Mass.
I was like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Nobody has.
No, except for you, Sandwich. So thank you for listening, Sandwich. But yes, please, if you are listening from Sandwich, send us an email at kushandcrime@gmail.com and say, yes, Sandwich Police has Sandwich Police.
Hey, I just got an idea.
What's that?
On my segment, there should be like an intro music.
Oh, okay. I could do that after this. I could find some for you. You're smart.
Yeah, you good.
Or like a little sound effect even.
All right.
Like a bong.
So.
Okay, so here's Ozzy with the strain of the day.
We are smoking currently Fire OG in my Batman bong, which I barely use.
You want to tell a story about that bong?
She almost fought a bitch.
I did. I really did. But only because Ozzy almost fought a bitch. And
because
I
guess in the state of Florida, you're not supposed to say bong.
It's a water pipe.
And I didn't know that. Like, there was a thing.
Here.
We're not from here. I didn't know that was a thing. And I was like, okay. I mean, whatever. And she almost fought a bitch and bought me this bong.
So here's a little bit more elaborated story. So we walked into this smoke shop.
I'm trying to keep it PG here.
I don't give a shit. We walked into this smoke shop, and I had told Ozzy about it because I went there and I got a whole bunch of papers to roll with, and I was like, I really like the girl that was working. We should go there. And mind you, we have one like literally down the street, but we decided to go. This one is a little bit out of the way because it was a nice shop. So we go in, and Ozzy is going in with the mindset of, I'm gonna buy a bong today. So we're just talking to her, and she's like, oh, you need any help? And we're like, no, we're just here to look at bongs. And she's like, if you say that again, I'm going to have to kick you out. And we're like, what? And she's like, if you say that again, I'm going to have to kick you out. I was like, okay, sorry. Like, we didn't know.
Yeah, like, we're not from Florida.
So then she leaves us alone. We go over to the case. We're looking. And Ozzy just says bong again and said, shh, she'll hear you. It's water pipe. So then we go and he says it again accidentally, and I correct him. She's like, I already told you once. If you say it again, I'm gonna have to kick you out. Just so rude, off the rip, no reason, bitch, but whatever. So then we go to the counter. At this point, I didn't want to even buy it from there, but Ozzy wanted that bong, so
it just
whatever.
has the retro Batman logos and everything like that.
Yeah, it's got the Joker on it, and it's got ha ha ha, and it's got old school Batman.
Yep.
It is kind of cool. So then we get to the register, and then Ozzy's like, can I just ask you why we can't say that? And he didn't even say the word bong. She flipped out. She's like, I've already told you 6 times not to say it. I'm trying to hurry up and ring you out and get you out of here and help you, but you just keep, and I'm going to kick you out. And I was like, I looked at Ozzy and he was about to go in. I literally have never done this to him in my entire life and haven't done since. I put my hand out to stop him because it was my fucking turn. Yeah. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. So I was like, okay, first of all, he was asking you a question. Second of all, there's no reason for you to be rude. There's no reason whatsoever. I'd like, hurry up. Just hurry up at this point. And then she was like, da 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 da. And I was like, there's different ways of handling it. We were asking you a question for informational purposes and you're just being rude as hell. And I was very professional about it. Mind you, I can be a bitch if I need to.
That's when I was aroused.
So then she was like, okay, didn't have shit to say after that. And then I left a review because, I only leave reviews if you are extremely fucking rude. And then we called because we found the bong for even cheaper and we wanted to get a refund because fuck you, bitch, fuck you. And then they're like, nope, no refund. So then the manager called us and he said that he reviewed the footage and that she was being a bitch and that this is the second time in the week that had happened. No, fuck you. You need to check your employee.
How do you get written up twice in a week already?
In a week. And then he even said, yeah, your wife handled it better than she did. No fucking shit.
But yes, she's still working there.
I bet you she is because that was his assistant manager. I won't blow up the name of the place because that's just, I won't do that. But
that's bad karma. Don't do that.
Fuck you dumb bitch. Anyway,
we're not Karens here.
Huh?
We're not Karens.
No.
Where we blow up the place.
But I did write a review because I felt like it needed to be said, like, hey, that's no way to treat customers, especially if you want somebody to keep coming back to you. Because we've never gone back, and we will never go back.
Oh, my little keyboard warrior.
All right. Anyway, go ahead and take it away, Ozzy, with the strain of day. I'm sorry. I got summoned by this.
Chill just stop.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Just calm your nips.
It consumed me.
Calm your nips. Anyways, God. Fire OG is also known as Fire OG Kush.
I'm sorry.
Is an indica-dominant hybrid marijuana strain made by the crossings of OG Kush and SFV OG Kush. This strain has an similar aroma. Whoa, I can't even talk right now. To Lemon Pledge. And has effects that are potent for long-lasting effects. Fire OG is one of the strongest OG strains and is a fan favorite amongst consumers who have a high THC tolerance, and also gets the name from the frosty red hairs that make it appear like it's on fire. OG plants typically flower within 9 to 10 weeks.
Yum.
Weeks.
And I could definitely attest to the fact that it is definitely potent for those
it is.
that have been smoking for a long time.
It is.
Not Ozzy, he's a little baby.
But it's good. I'm pointing her the
lighter. He's like, but it's good. And it's
good.
One of those grill lighters, and it's the floppy one that can like move whichever way you push it. So he's like flopping it at me. Don't even.
That's what she said.
I knew it. Didn't even. God damn it. All right. No big updates in Gabby Petito except Dog the Bounty Hunter is on the case. John Walsh is on the case, and then also they had a mistake. According to my father, I didn't actually fact check this. This is my bad for not fact checking. But according to my father, they thought they found him, and it wasn't him. Oops, in North Carolina.
Oopsie daisy.
Oopsies. But other than that, they believe him to be alive. The cause of death was strangulation. But I was right about the strangulation thing.
Like, if I was gonna do that, I would probably kill myself and feed myself to the gators.
I don't know. I maybe just wouldn't kill anyone.
I mean, yes.
That.
Or that.
Or that. Okay, guys. You know what happened. The husband did it.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I don't have a truck.
Also, if you watch the new season of You, email me because email me. No spoilers here. Email me. Email me at Kush Crime. We'll talk about it.
I don't care about you.
Wow, that's so rude. You don't care about me?
Shut up. Story time, bitch.
All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started because we want to make sure that we give this content to you as quick as possible. So again, this is Aileen Wuornos part 2.
Parte episodio 2.
See, and he's just gonna translate everything into Spanish for you.
Y ahora te voy a decir lo que va a pasar.
So where we left you.
Donde nos dejamos.
Okay. Where we left you last time, Ozzy, do you remember at all?
I do not.
Not at all. Even though this is the 3rd time we've done it.
She's just a badass bitch.
Okay.
And she's a yippee-yay-yay.
Oh, yes. She was driving down the road, firing a gun out the window, screaming yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
She's a sex twerker.
She is a sex worker.
And almost every single guy be like, suck my dick. Suck my dick.
I don't know about that, but sure. Remember, she was married. We went over her early life. Her father is dead. Her brother is dead. We went over the fact that she was married and she tried to kill her husband. Pretty much, she beat the shit out of him after he was like, "Hey, you might want to I'm gonna cut you off." And then she got arrested, skipped bail. So that's kind of where we left off. So this episode, we're going to talk about up to after that point, and then up to her first 3 victims. And then from there, the next part is going to be the remainder of the victims in the trial. So the next part might be a little long.
Okay.
And again, I do have an episode already written for spooky season. I have found 2 more that I want to write. One's more of a ghostish story that's here in Florida. What was that, Ozzy?
Oh, just smoking here.
Oh, so one's a ghost story here in Florida. So I didn't tell Ozzy about it, so this is me telling him about it now. I found that today. It's actually pretty cool. So that's something we'll go over. Apparently, it's a house in Tampa Bay that about 9 people have died in, and it's supposedly really haunted. So we might go over that.
Very spoopy.
Again, I'm going to keep it spoopy season for you all the way till Christmas because that's how long it needs to go. And also, I don't like Christmas.
All right.
I do like Christmas. I hate snow and I hate Christmas music.
We live in Florida where we don't have snow anymore.
Exactly. All right. Without further ado, here is Aileen Wuornos part 2.
Drum room.
So again, she was sex working and
sex twerking.
Yeah, she started making her way down to Florida at this point.
Of course.
So when she comes down from Florida, or to Florida, remember, the very last thing they left you on was actually that she cashed bad checks for her job. Mm-hmm. And that's what she got arrested for. She got released on bail and then didn't show up to her court hearing, which we'll see is a trend of hers. So in 1985, she was named a suspect in the theft of a pistol and some ammo in Pasco County from a man that slept with her for a few nights in return for her having a place to stay. So she didn't charge him, but she stayed with him.
Okay.
And apparently she allegedly stole a gun from him. So later that year, she had met a woman named Tony, and she fell head over heels for her. She was like, "Yes, Tony, you're my girl," whatever. And they started a steam cleaning business together. So I guess Lee purchased all the equipment, and they were living together, and they were like going and steam cleaning houses. So a couple months after they got together, Tony actually ended up leaving Lee. And when she left her, she took literally fucking everything that she had, every fucking thing, and including the steam cleaning stuff, and then left her one thing, the bill for like the electricity or something. It was like $500.
That's so petty.
I know, like, let me just take
I'm just gonna
everything.
take everything and then you pay these bills.
Literally. Hey, pay it. You know what, I'm gonna leave this here, you should pay it.
Yeah,
seriously. definitely pay it, because I'm gonna take everything, but don't forget this.
It's literally so petty.
Yeah. So obviously she was mad.
Obviously.
And she obviously felt like Tony
shit.
was using her, so she was really upset. And at this point, you know, I do want to let you know too that she was using a whole bunch of different aliases, so it's kind of important. Yeah, she's going by a whole bunch of different names, and it's kind of important because it's just like goes to show you exactly like what she was doing. You know what I mean?
So she was using fake names?
Yeah, but like some of them were like real people, which we have a for instance a little bit later. We can go over if you'd like.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna go over it. Not if you'd like.
Briefing time.
We're gonna go over it. So at this point in time, after her and Tony broke up, she was going by Lori Grody, and using that name, she got pulled over. And this is all in '85. So then in '86, she was arrested under her own name for resisting arrest. There wasn't that much information on that in this book. And then she was bailed out from that. And then obviously she does what she's already been doing, skips fucking bail. So she doesn't show up to her trial. So now she's like fully into Florida. She's headed in the Daytona area. But at this point, again, she was questioned because one of her gentleman callers, as we're going to just call them right now, accused her of pulling a gun on him, demanding $200. And she was like, nah, I didn't do that shit. Hell no, I didn't do that. But
I don't know.
Yeah, so she held him at gunpoint and was like, bitch, give me $200. And then...
That's what people were saying?
No, like that's what she was accused of. And when she got like questioned for it, she denied it, obviously, but then she ended up getting charged with grand theft and carrying a concealed firearm. That's so stupid. Again, she didn't show up to court.
How do you do these crimes, not show up to court, and still able to walk out?
Okay, like, I can understand.
This is why I'm saying the justice system's fucked.
Well, definitely it is, but also it's 1980, and you got to think about it. Like, honestly, if you're in Colorado or something and you get arrested in 85, Florida's not going to know about it because they don't communicate with Colorado. Even now, you know, people like... different police departments don't communicate with each other unless they need to. But now we have national like databases like CODIS for DNA, like the fingerprint one. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's APHIS. I'm not sure.
You know a lot of stuff, huh?
Huh?
You know a lot of stuff, huh?
I know a lot of stuff.
How do you know these stuff?
From listening to other podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah, me too, until I realized how many books there were.
Yeah, also, but I'm just really good at arguing. Yeah, so after this, in that year, in 86 still, she got pulled over again by using the name Susan Blahovec. Blahovec. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how it's spelled.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Huh?
I don't even know how to pronounce
it's
it.
Blahovec, so Blahovec. Blahovec.
Is it Russian?
I don't know. I should Google that, huh?
Oh.
But she was pulled over using that name, and the officer at the time said that she thought, like Aileen thought that she was above the law. But, like, no fucking shit, though. Fucking shit.
She's been arrested multiple times.
Seriously, she
knows how to play the system.
Yeah, she'd been arrested mad times, but is just traveling to different places, skip bail, and that was all in the course of like 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Like, I would feel confident too.
Yeah, of course. So she's like, yeah.
Until like literally a hard ass officer would be like, no, this is the end. Like, that's enough.
Yeah, but again, they don't know because it's all in different places and she's using different names. The only thing that happened in this instance is she got pulled over. Yeah. So, and even still, like, think about all the times before that. So this was just what happened in the past 2 years. But all the stuff I told you last time. It's so much shit.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah. Like, in 86, it was a total of 3 times.
That she got pulled over?
Arrested.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So this brings...
How many times can you get arrested?
Seriously. And then skip bail.
And still walk.
Yeah. That's crazy. But it's just because we didn't have the national systems that like we do today.
Maybe we need those times again.
Yeah. Why? Are you trying to get away with some crimes?
No.
Okay, now you definitely sound like you're a killer. People, if something happened, it was the husband.
Nope.
The husband did it.
No hablo inglés.
Anyway, so now Lee is in Daytona, and Lee is Aileen, by the way. I feel like I need to clarify that again for some reason. And that's when she meets Tyria at the Zodiac Bar, which is a gay bar in Daytona. It's no longer a thing, though. But when I told you, like, she loved Tony, no. She loved her.
She loved her.
Sorry. So at this time, like, we're just gonna talk about Tyria a little bit. I'm sorry, I took one hit before this shit and it just fucking wrecked me.
Yeah, she's pretty stoned. Meanwhile, I'm over here, okay?
No, I hit it from this bong. It was pretty big. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So let's talk about Tyria a little bit. So she was a maid at the El Caribe Motel. What is that?
The Caribbean
Motel. And at this time, she was living with her friend Cammie because she had gotten evicted from her apartment. So Cammie and her husband were like the type to be like super nice with their neighbors, and you know, they were very, very friendly, so they took her in willingly. But they said that when she met Lee, she completely changed and she became a complete different person, and they did not like Lee.
Okay.
So, but Lee was hanging around more because obviously she's dating Tyria. So
right.
One day Lee and Tyria go out together, and Lee was always carrying around this briefcase, and Cammie was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking find out what's in that briefcase. I'm gonna look. She opened it up and it had a bunch of business cards and a whole bunch of condoms in it.
Damn.
Yep. And that was Lee's, like,
she must have been like twerking all night long then.
I'm sure she was. She had like her contact list.
Like one guy would finish and then be like, oh, your tag, you're it.
Ew.
Next condom.
That's a little much. Again, there's nothing against sex work. It's just
no,
not
not at all.
Not for me, man. Not for me. I'm good.
See someone in the streets and be like, all right, you're in.
I mean,
hey, can I join? Yeah, you can join. Just wear this condom.
I mean, there's like a healthy way to do sex work if it's done right, but it'd have to be done like legally to be done right, you know?
Sure.
Like a brothel that is legal.
Isn't there one in Amsterdam or something like that?
Yeah, well, they have like the red light district.
Yeah, so does Tokyo too.
A lot of places do. Anywho. It took a random turn right there. So at the time Lee and Cammie were out. Lee and Tyria were out, so they came back and Cammie confronted Tyria, and she's like, yo, she has a whole bunch of like cards and condoms in her bag. Like, what are you doing?
She's sucking dick.
Like, she's definitely doing sex work. She's
sex twerk.
Yeah, definitely doing sex work. And she's like, I know that she's a prostitute. Those are her words.
No shit.
I know that she's a prostitute, and it excites me.
What?
All right. Okay.
She's like, drip.
Cammie is like, you need to get the fuck out. Because Lee was just so detrimental and just so rude, and so, like, everybody hated Lee, dude. Everybody hated Lee.
Damn, she was the outsider.
Yeah. So they got kicked out together, and then they started living at that motel that she worked at. But when they left, Lee actually stole Cammie's identity and stole her ID and everything, and then started using her name as an alias after that. So, yeah, she's still being a piece of shit at this point.
She never learns, apparently.
No, and just like she's just doing sex work and stealing from people and like threatening people with guns. It's just crazy.
Badass life.
Huh?
She's living the badass life.
Oh no, I don't think so.
I suck dick, kill people, and get drugs, bitches.
So after they got kicked out of Cammie's place, they lived at the motel for a little bit, but then they tried to move in with one of Tyria's friends from church. And so they went and they met with the woman from church, and she was very strict. She was like, you guys can't sleep in the same bed. they like, these are specific rules that need to occur, and like laid down like some bullshit. And Lee got fucking pissed off and was like, no, because she was mad because she was gonna force them to sleep in separate beds.
Yeah, but like, what does that matter anyways? Because like,
Well,
you can
because they're
literally get
lesbians,
up,
and
but you
she's
can get
a
up
woman.
and walk over to the next bed.
Right. And
But
what
it
are you
makes
gonna
no
do?
sense.
Like, are you gonna open up the door and like peek in and see like, oh, they're sleeping together?
There's always sneaky ways to do it.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, DeMarco's just coming out.
Okay. Oh my god.
Carl must be enjoying himself right now.
I'm
hearing
sure.
me saying this right now.
I'm sure. So after they had talked to the woman from the church, like Lee like flipped out, and then the woman from the church was like, yeah, no, you need to leave right now, you're not staying here. But like obviously Lee flipped out because she's like, what do you mean we can't sleep in separate beds, it's ridiculous, like,
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
or that we have to sleep in separate beds rather. So then after this, Lee continued to do sex work, and Tyria ended up quitting her job. But eventually, though, money became super tight, but they stuck together. They were sleeping in cheap motels, in the woods, in a barn even.
Damn.
Yeah. But eventually the two ended up borrowing money from one of Tyria's friends, and they ended up purchasing a trailer, and that they parked it in a camper resort in Ormond by the Sea.
Okay.
So their neighbors did not fucking like them at all. They were loud, they were noisy, they were always playing loud music, they were running around outside in their underwear and fighting and things. Like,
it'd be pretty
good.
funny watching the neighbors
It would
in
be
their underwear
hot
fighting.
tea, but at the same time, do you want to live near that? No. And
But
of course, your home is mobile. Get the fuck out.
But it's like, we don't really associate with people, but I think we'd be fine.
Yeah,
if we
but
even
still,
saw
we
that.
would. It's
I'd
like
be
a train wreck.
"Eh,
You can't look away.
honey, the neighbors are at it again."
Yeah, literally.
That'd be us.
Yeah, we'd be sitting there, like, we'd go get like a cup of coffee, go sit on the porch, be
Yeah.
like, all right, what's up, what's good. But there was one night though that they heard shots fired coming from their trailer, and they were playing loud music and they were yelling, and at that point they, like, the next morning they were like, get the fuck out, goodbye, go, get out of here, leave now. So they left.
Vete de aquí.
So again,
That means go away
yeah,
in Spanish.
okay, I figured, context clues.
Español.
So they were told, after they were told to leave, they ended up going back to Daytona, and Tyria began to work again as a maid at a different motel, Casa del Mar motel.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee is still obviously doing sex work. She's
Sex twerk.
Yeah, she's doing sex work the whole entire time. So they were completely broke and they were getting desperate. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this a little bit earlier. It tells you in the book what Lee's rates are. Are you curious to know?
Go on.
So in 86, though, 86, not now, 86. It's worth a lot more now.
Yeah, okay.
100 for sex in a motel, 75 for the woods, and 30 for oral in the car.
Like to fuck in the woods?
Yeah.
Pretty good rates.
Um,
This girl is adventurous.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. She's down for whatever. So
Nice.
not nice. I don't think you'd want to be one of her sexual partners. We're about to get into that one. We switch gears right
We're
into
about
Richard
to get
Charles
into
Mallory.
it. What?
So he was described as a little less than 6 feet tall, so a tall motherfucker. He had a nice mustache, hazel eyes, and wire-rimmed glasses. He was 51, and he owned a Clearwater electronics shop.
Okay.
And, you know, he would randomly just shut the whole shit down, just like on a random Tuesday in the middle of the day, so he could go, you know, go to the strip club and have
Everyone out of
sex.
the freaking building.
I'm shutting down to go
Seriously.
pay for some sex.
I pay here. I got cash.
Yeah. So he was always like hiring like sex workers, and he was always going to strip clubs and stuff. And he was described as having no friends, and he was super paranoid. So he had changed the locks in his apartment so many times, like multiple times, and he always thought that he was being followed. So he even went as far as saying that he wanted to have plastic surgery to change his nose so he couldn't be recognized.
Gay.
Yeah, I really wonder what he was scared of, honestly.
Like, it just seems like you're scared of something that you shouldn't even be scared of.
Well, I don't know. He kind of has a reason to be scared.
But out of all things, like, you're gonna focus on your nose for plastic surgery.
I mean, it does radically change
I would
your
do
appearance.
like cheekbones or
Yeah.
I don't know, cheekbones. Maybe that's all I can say.
Nose job is probably cheaper and easier to perform.
Plastic surgery is just so expensive regardless.
I just don't want it. I'm good.
Like, just love how you look, bitches.
Yeah. Love you.
Yeah.
You're unique for a reason.
God made you a special way.
Mm-hmm.
My children.
So one reason that he could be paranoid was that he often did use drugs. The book didn't really say what kind though, so I don't know specifically.
It's probably acid.
Yeah, probably.
Or something like high up there.
Yeah, probably acid. Like if you're super paranoid, yeah, you could be right there. So one thing that I think is really important to mention right now, just because it's relevant to...
She's pregnant.
A man, Richard?
Oh, never mind.
No. So it's important to mention that he was once institutionalized in a Maryland State Mental Institution for almost 10 years for an attempted rape.
Oh, damn. So how was he still walking?
So when he was there, he was diagnosed with a personality pattern disorder linked with the schizoid personality. That would explain the paranoia too. But a different way of explaining it is that he was an out of control sexual predator and a pervert who would present a danger to his environment in the future.
So almost like a sex addict.
Definitely. Like, but in a bad way. Like, there's ways, like, to have sex in healthy ways, like, very consensual, like, those types of things. But he was very aggressive and very brutal, and I'm obviously based on this for people that weren't really willing to be if he was already charged with rape. So...
Sounds intense.
Yeah. In any case, this side of Richard was kept secret from everybody else. So everybody that like went to his shop and everything, they didn't know that he was hiring sex workers. Like they didn't know about his past in a mental institution, obviously. But on November 30th of 1989, so this is a couple years after like the last time that we're really talking about Lee, but like at this point she is living in Daytona. But like this is like after she's been arrested a whole bunch of times. She hadn't gotten arrested a whole bunch of times after she met Taria. She was like, she calmed down a little bit.
Okay.
Kinda, not really.
I've matured.
So on November 30th, there was a storm coming into Florida, and as per usual, you know, it's always raining here.
Not lately.
No, not lately. I want
Not
a
lately.
hurricane.
It is getting chilly though. That's the only thing.
It's not that cold.
It's
It feels
chilly.
perfect.
It's chilly, all right? We always have this battle between the hot and cold in this house. I wear hoodies in my own house.
I can get colder. You can always get warmer. I can't get colder on my own unless I start sweating, and in which case it's way too fucking hot in here if I'm sweating.
I wear hoodies
Good. At least
in
you're
my
warm.
house. That's how cold it is.
At least you're warm.
I shouldn't be able to wear hoodies in my house.
At least you can wear the hoodies. They're comfy.
Whatever.
And you have a blanket right there. He didn't even notice it. He just looked at it. He's like, oh, a blanket. I didn't even realize it.
Oh, I did.
Oh, is that why you're grabbing it now?
Yeah, because you know what?
Because you noticed it previously, and you
I didn't feel like, just doing it, all right? See? So, it's all done.
You're welcome. So,
I noticed it was there.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So anyway,
you can notice these nuts.
Oh my god. All right, there's a storm coming into damn Florida.
Oh, there's a storm coming. All right.
Oh, shut up. Richard was headed out to I-4 from I-275, coming from Pinellas County, Clearwater area towards the Daytona area. And in the area of Pinellas County,
In the area
of Pinellas County, right in the Tampa Bay area, which you have to go through to get to I-4.
I'm not familiar, but all right.
Sure. My family's from here. It's okay. So to I-4, you have to go through the bay. And when it rains, it floods over on the bridge. So it's really hard to get through. Plus, there's accidents. There's accidents every 5 fucking seconds over
Literally
there.
every
5 seconds.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we hate going over there. So
much traffic because of it.
yeah. So it was raining and there was accidents, and he was just driving and stuck in traffic, and then it started to clear up. So as it started to clear up, he saw a girl on the side of the road, and he like passed her. Then he backed up. Then he opened the door and he's like, "Hey, you want to ride?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm going to Daytona. And he's like, "Me too." She's like, "Awesome." So she gets in the car. Do you want to guess who that is?
Who?
Lee.
The sex twerker.
Yes. And our murderer. Murderer. So, when she gets in the car, they start drinking, they're chatting, whatever. And she was like, "Hey, I'll suck your dick for money."
See? Sucking dick.
I'll suck your dick for money. She offered him sexual favors. And she was like, "You want to help me make my money?" And he was like, "Yeah, I might be interested." So they kept driving.
Oh, he had sloppy seconds.
So Richard was like, they were talking, and he was telling Lee about himself and his ex-wife, and they kept driving. And then all of a sudden, Richard was like, "Hey, do you want to make your money now?" So according to Lee, Richard only wanted a blowjob, which was $30. So they pulled off on the side of the road, and she began to strip for him after he paid her.
That's still a pretty good price.
Yeah. So she asked him, yeah, it's not bad. So she asked him to strip, but he didn't want to, and all he did was unzip his pants. So, and this is all according to Lee. I feel like I need to say this. There's only one side here. He rolled on top of her, began kissing her, and then she flips out and started yelling, "You son of a bitch, you were gonna rape me. What the fuck are you doing?" Like yelling, like freaking out, like, "Oh my god, like you were gonna rape me."
I mean, at that time, yeah.
Right. So things started to get escalated.
Especially if you just paid for just
a blowjob.
A blowjob.
Right. So things start to get escalated, and they start yelling at each other, but then he rolls on top of her again. But she got away, grabbed her bag, got out of the car naked, grabbed her gun, and pointed it at him.
Bang, bang.
Not yet. So, you jump in the gun. Jump in the gun. Sorry. She asked him to strip too.
Not funny.
But shut up. I'm a dad. It's all right. I love dad jokes. They're so corny. So then she ordered him to get out of the car. And so he slid out of the passenger seat. She backed up a little bit. And then all of a sudden he tried to lunge at her. But then she shot him. And he got up and tried to move towards her again. And she shot him 2 more times. And then again once more. After 10 minutes, he died. She got dressed, dumped the car in Ormond Beach, a short ways away from where her and Tyria were staying, and then went back home. After she dumped the car, she went back home, and the police ended up finding the vehicle the next day. So they found the car with the interior light on and 2 doors open. They looked inside, and they saw what appeared to be blood stains behind the steering wheel, but they didn't find anyone inside. But they did find a blue wallet with Richard's ID, 2 expired credit cards, and like a bunch of other like small stuff. Which led them to believe that Richard was not alone in the car, like a condom and things like that.
Okay.
So they also noticed that the seat was pulled way too far forward for a dude that was as tall as Richard to drive. So those are just things to think about here. So on Wednesday, December 13th, two men found the body of Richard about 5 miles from where his car had been found. But when they had found it, obviously they could not identify it right away, just because this is Florida and the heat.
Oh yeah, the decomp is much faster rate almost.
Yeah, and remember, even though it's December, everywhere else is not as cold here. So
No, it's really not.
yeah. So once they find his body and everything, they start digging into his life to try and find some leads about it. But basically, all they're finding about him is like his sex life, like that he's going out to the strip clubs and that he's doing all of those perverted sex things. So he's just looking there.
Pussy.
Yeah, he's just looking there.
We all love pussy.
They're looking there because obviously maybe they think that somebody might have a vendetta against him,
Okay.
But they're just chasing the wrong direction, obviously. And the case goes cold. So after the murder, like pretty much right away, she ran and told Tyria, and she had given her a scarf that had belonged to him. So she showed her all the stuff that went mysteriously missing from his car, and they had just moved into a new apartment together at this point. So a few days later, using Cammie's name, she had pawned all the stuff that she had stolen from Richard, and meanwhile, police had found the gun that Lee had used that night.
Okay. Evidence right there.
Yep. So when it came to the trial later, Lee claimed that she killed Richard out of self-defense. Which, let's talk about that for a moment. So, based on Richard's past, I could kind of see this as being maybe self-defense. Like, if he rolled on top of her and she pretty much said, "Get off of me," and I don't want this. Okay, yes. But then at the same time, like, is it? Because it's not the first time that happens. You know what I mean? I mean, this is the first time that this happens.
Yeah,
but after
it's
this,
the first time for her.
Right.
Well, with her, I should say.
Right. So I think maybe this could have been for self. Maybe, but I don't know. But this is the only one that I can see as plausible.
It's a gray area. It's a gray area.
Right, because we only have her side of things too.
Right.
So it is pretty difficult to like really know.
You got to know both sides.
But yeah, so she does say that it's for self-defense.
Both sides of the story.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And when we talk about the next one, I think you'll like see that a little bit more. Like this one, it does, she like barely remembers about it. So about 6 months after the murder of Richard, David Spears was leaving his job as a construction worker, and he had called his wife the day before to say, "Hey, I'm going to be around the house around 2:30. And she ended up living she was like living on the Tampa side of the state, so he had to come down I-4, and then apparently it eventually merges to 27. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with over there. So at some point he came across Lee and picked her up and offered her a ride. So she said that she was going to Homosassa Springs. I think that's how you say it. Homosassa. I think I said Homosassa. Homosassa. I'm thinking Hammonasset. Us Connecticut people know Hamo.
We're not in Connecticut.
I know, so I was thinking Hammonasset, but I think it's Homosassa.
That's a nice beach.
Hamo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice beach. It's probably the nicest one in Connecticut, in my opinion.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Mine too.
Anyway, Homosassa Springs. And I guess that's close to 19, which would have been a different way than he would have had to go, but he agreed to take her that way anyway. So they drive to where she needs to go, and they end up pulling off into the deep woods in the back road. And when Lee talks about him, again, we only have her side. She doesn't really remember much. She just knows that they got naked together.
They got drunk. Naked.
Yeah, obviously. And she claims that he wanted to go in the back of the truck, and all she could remember was that there was a lead pipe or something like that in the back of the truck, and then basically things got escalated and she shot him, and that's all she can really say. So for me, the first one seemed more of like she really was like defending herself in a way, or she thought that she was. But this one, it just seems like the opportunity was there, That
still doesn't prove though.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
It can go both ways.
Right. Because then her other, so later, She tells her lawyer like everything was in self-defense.
Right.
And then she changed her story, and then she says it was all for the money. And then she changes it again and says it was all in self-defense. Everybody.
Yeah, like which version is it?
Right. So again, I think each case, maybe it's different. Maybe for Richard it was self-defense, but for the others it was for the money, you know.
It's most likely for the money.
Yeah, but that's the only one I can see as being self-defense. That's why I keep saying that.
Money. That's pretty much what it came down to, probably.
Yeah. So at this point, after she shot him, she goes home. Bang. Yep, dumps the car. And when the police found the vehicle the next day, they found a blonde hair, a ripped condom, and all of David's things that he had in his car was missing, including over $600. So that's why I said this one feels like it's for the money. They also saw that the seat was pulled up close to the steering wheel for a man of his size to drive again. Mm-hmm. Then the next day his body was found, and a couple of days later an autopsy was performed. So again, because of the state of the body, they could initially tell. Yeah,
but like the decomp, wouldn't that be a factor though?
Yeah. When they found his body, that they had to find out who he was. Yeah. Yeah. So because it decomped, they found it. They couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. Like that's like an animal must have gotten into it or something.
It was one of them wolves out there.
Or a gator. But then it was determined later that it was a man who weighed around 195 pounds. He had 6 gunshot wounds, and he was later identified by dental records as David Spears. So only 5 days.
Like dentist?
Yeah. So when you go to the dentist and they take x-rays, those are your dental records. That's one way you can be identified.
You can get them from different states and shit?
Well, they assumed he lived in Florida, so...
Yeah, but what if you're not from Florida?
Then it might be harder. But I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly. But I do know that they can use it.
Here.
Huh?
Detective work over here.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. I don't know. They probably send it out to, like, different dentists, depending.
I want to say, like, depending on the cases and stuff like that, they can probably fax it over or something like that.
Yeah. This is the 80s. They had fax then.
Yeah, but it just took a lot longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely a lot longer. 30 pages takes like 3 days.
10 years. So they did autopsy him. They identified him via dental records. And then only 5 days after this, Lee was on to her next victim.
Damn.
I know, only 5 days. This was a man.
Fuck that. She's like, fuck this. I'm going back to my days.
So she went down, like, she had 1 kill, and then she went on this, like, little cooling off period, and then she killed a guy, and then killed another guy, like, 5 days later. So Charles...
It's like she's feeding her addiction.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, that's what I don't understand what drives serial killers to do it. That's why we do this podcast, because I just...
Same here. Like, what goes through, like, what clicks in your mind to...
But it's good that we don't understand, you know, because we don't kill people.
No, we're normal. Thank God.
Well, there's no such thing as normal, but we don't kill people.
Friends, no.
Fish are friends.
Well, I was going to say, humans are friends, not targets.
Humans are friends and not targets.
Yes.
According to LB Marvin, we're fragile meat bags. Or was that Brianna? One of them.
I mean, we are.
It was definitely Brianna.
We are. All we're pretty much supported is by, like, the spine and the nerves.
Do you ever, like, okay.
And the nerves.
Let's sidetrack for a second. Do you ever think, like, that, okay, there is a skeleton inside of your body and you know what that looks like?
Yeah.
And it's just weird.
Like, the skin is just your protective shield.
Ew.
And after that, it's your body, your muscle, I think.
It grosses me out.
The muscle. And then after that is your organs.
Blech.
Yep. And then after that's your nervous system.
And then after that?
Your brain.
And then after that?
Nothing else.
And then after that?
Because honestly, like, if you really think about it, you're pretty much just nerves.
Just
yeah. And the brain is controlling, like, it's basically like we're the Gundam armor stuff, and someone's controlling it in there, and that's your brain. And basically, is that
how you picture your brain? Kind of like a SpongeBob situation, like them all running all over the place?
I've never seen SpongeBob like that, but
oh my god,
I'll stick to my Gundam reference where someone's controlling the mechanism, the Megazord or whatever.
Okay, everybody
Yeah.
knows what I'm talking about besides you. The SpongeBob episode where he's like has a whole bunch of him running around in his brain and he's like trying to remember a million things. I think that's the episode when he was a waiter or something like that for like the fancy restaurant. I don't know, something like that. And he snapped. I
What
don't
the
know.
fuck you talking about?
SpongeBob.
Sure.
All right, that was a really like random tangent.
Yeah. No,
Sorry guys, sorry. We're really trying to bring us to you. So here we go, back to it.
It was pretty funny though.
Yeah. So this guy's name was Charles Carskadon, and he was on Carskadon, and he was on his way from Missouri to Tampa to pick up his fiancée. So it is assumed that somewhere along the way, Charles, who went by Chuck, saw Lee and offered her a ride. She got in. Sorry guys. So for this one, she tells us, when she tells a story about it, she says that Chuck was a drug dealer and that
Suck my dick.
no, and that he had only had $20 and he wasn't going to give her
$20 is $20.
Oh my god. And he wasn't going to give her any more than that. And he also had a 45 on the hood of his car, and you know, she wasn't happy about that. So she was a little mad about this whole situation. So they crawled into the back seat together, and then he started calling her a bitch. And then after that, she shot him in the back seat, got out of the vehicle,
Damn.
and then continued to shoot him. No big deal.
Jeez.
Yeah. So at first,
Talk about cock block.
at first she had said that it was in self-defense
Oh,
again.
it wasn't.
And then she said it was for the money again. And then later again, she said it was self-defense. But again, we'll get more into that when we do the trial. So his body was found a couple weeks later, and his body was covered with foliage and a green blanket. And he was shot he was shot 9 times.
But is he the next 50 Cent?
No. I don't think so, because he's deceased.
Oh, he was the OG 50 Cent then.
So Lee
Got shot 9 times and became a rapper.
Okay. Just, all right.
You feel my pain in my lyrics?
Ozzy, what's your rapper name?
Oh man,
My little brother's is Lil Bubs.
I don't even know, because I know I will never rap.
Lil Oz.
I'll rap in my own like
The
little,
Wizard of Oz.
I'll rap in my own little space, but I wouldn't. Hell no, I don't got bars. I don't even know how to I don't know how to even talk English.
Speak English.
See what I mean? You see what I mean? You expect me to rap like that?
I don't even know how to talk English. Do you know what my mom would do if she heard that? She would cringe. She'd be like, what? Talk English. It's speak English.
I'm sorry, huh?
Lee took his car,
Okay.
removed the tags, and drove it up to Marion County. So a couple days after Charles's body was found, Lee is again getting another ride from her next victim, Peter Symes. Peter. So this is her last victim that we're going to talk about today. So then we'll do part 3, and then her other victims, and then her trial is what part 3 will be. So Peter was a 65-year-old retired seaman. I knew you were going to do that. Who lived near Jupiter, Florida.
Was there a lot of semen on board?
I don't know.
She must have been filled of semen.
Oh my god. Peter's neighbors saw him packing up his car to go off, and I really hate that this is what's happening. I already know what's coming here. And do part-time missionary work.
Oh, yeah. Missionary, huh? There's a lot of semen available for missionaries.
Get your mind out of the gutter. It's for the church, Ozzy.
Damn. Sorry.
Get it straight. It's for the church.
Yeah, they'll for sure let them scream, "Oh my God, damn semen!"
Oh my God. Okay, so then they went to visit some relatives in Arkansas, and then they drove up to Jersey to see his sister. Okay.
All
right. So, obviously, Florida is like a really fucking huge ass state.
It is.
So to get out of it, you have to drive up for like, everything. Depending on how far down you live. If you live in Miami, I'm so sorry. I don't know how long that is, but I'm assuming it's at least like 8 hours to get out of Florida.
I mean, for us, it's like 5 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, for Peter, going up there, I meant going up 75, which is right where Lee likes to hang out and, you know, do her thing, you know, murder people, whatever. So
I get off murdering people.
Yep.
Pretty much. So
Symes sees Lee, picks her up, obviously because he's a man of the church and he is going to pick up a woman in need.
Okay.
Obviously. And they drive over state lines. So the two pull over and she offers him sex. According to Lee. Yeah, man of God.
Oh, Lord.
So according to Lee.
Bless this dick.
Oh, my God. Okay. Again?
As I slap.
Okay. According to Lee, Peter took out his sleeping bag and they took it out into the woods where he got undressed. And then she said that she brought her bag with her because she was not going to give him an opportunity to rape me. And obviously her bag had a gun. So
Gun compartment.
So she claims that this is when he started to give her problems, and she does what Lee does, and she pulled out her gun. She actually hesitated on this one, so she claims again this is all from Lee's perspective, and told him that she didn't want to shoot him, but then he allegedly called her a bitch. So, you know, this is her thing. Once you call her a bitch, it's done. It's done.
Bang, bang.
And she yelled at him and she said, "You're going to rape me again." And then they started yelling at each other. He tried to get the gun from her, but eventually she got away from him and shot him. They never found his body.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
No, they still haven't. I checked too.
Yeah, she must have. Damn, she must
They
have
think
done
it
good.
was in Georgia.
She did good then.
Or she just didn't tell them where it was.
Damn.
So
That
after
sucks.
this, Lee took his car, and it was a gray Pontiac Sunbird, and she crashed it about 10 miles from where police found David Spears' truck, so her second victim. And when I say crashed it, I mean like she was flying around a corner, the car skidded sideways, smashed through a fucking gate, and fucking shattered the windshield.
See, like right now, I'm just picturing that just description because I know what a sunbird looks like, and I just picture it.
Like just skidding and
the control.
Yeah, so the windshield cracked the fuck up, crashes. So okay, it's like a lady sitting on her porch. She's like, "What the fuck?" And
I mean,
just sees this happen.
be too.
Yeah, she just sees this happen and she's like, "Oh shit." So then she's watching Lee and a woman. It just says a woman. It doesn't specify who. I know it's Tyria. We're going to say it's Tyria. I'm assuming it's Tyria. Gets out of the vehicle with Lee. Lee is fucking yelling at the woman and they're throwing fucking beer cans into the fucking woods and shit. They're fucking arguing. So the lady that's sitting outside goes over there and she's like, "Hey, you good? Like, you need help? Like, you guys all right?" And Lee's like, "Please don't call the cops. We're perfectly fine. Don't worry about it." They're like, "Please, we're fine. Don't call the cops. Please, please, please don't call the cops. We're fine." And then she and the woman get in the car. She goes to take off. And then as soon as she gets on the road, because somehow she magically backs it out of there, as soon as she gets on the road, the tires go and go flat.
Damn, someone spiked it.
Well, and from her crashing into the fence, most likely.
Damn.
Yeah. So after that, they get back out and they like start walking because like obviously they can't do anything. So they ditch the plates, they ditch the keys, and then they like go and they're walking.
Yeah, but like even if you ditch all that stuff, you're still gonna get caught.
Right. So obviously we know about this for a reason. So they're walking and then they come across this guy and he goes to offer them a ride because he sees that they're in trouble and he's like, "Hey, like, can I give you guys a ride? Like, do you need help?" And Lee is fucking yelling and screaming and pissed off and just saying like, we don't have anything to do with that accident back there, like yelling. And he was like, "Okay, never mind," and he takes off.
I mean, I would too.
And then he goes and he calls the police though. So after they call the police, or not the police, the emergency, like the ambulance, they come up and they're like, hey, do you need help? And like, do you know anything about that accident back there? Like, are you from that accident? She's like, we're not from the accident. I need you to stop telling lies. We don't know anything about it. We're fine. We don't need your help.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spazzing out for no reason.
Yep. And then that's just where I'm going to leave it for now.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
Leaving us in a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last time I'm recording this, so thank goodness we can move on. So again, guys, we're sorry. We tried 3 times. This is the 3rd time.
Technical difficulties for sure.
Technical foul.
But we should be good from now on.
Yes, we appreciate you guys for listening.
Thank you for waiting and your patience.
Yes, thank you for your patience. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did enjoy this episode, you can follow us on Instagram at
Kush Crime.
You can follow us on Twitter at
Kush Crime.
You can follow us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Kush
and Crime.
And on Facebook, you can find us at
Kush and Crime.
A True Crime Potcast. And as always, you can send us an email at kushandcrime@gmail.com. Your case suggestions, any feedback you have.
Send us some spooky stuff.
Yeah, send us like your favorite high stories, because that would be really funny to listen to. I think that'd be really cool, because I know like we all have some good ones.
I've done some spooky stuff.
Yeah, so send us your high stories and your spooky stories for spooky season, and maybe if we have enough content, we can try to tell some of them. So send them in.
Yeah, send them in.
All right.
Bring them in.
Bring them out. Anyway, we hope you stay lifted. Bye.
Stay lit and be safe.
You're